the endless trail. The four friends, Ethan, Jack, Lisa, and Sam, stood at the edge of the forest, backpacks strapped tight. The hike was supposed to be a weekend escape, a break from the monotony of city life. The plan was simple: cross the shallow river, trek through the unexplored forest, and make history by reaching the peak of a towering mountain no one had ever climbed before. "This place is off limits, isn't it?" Lisa asked, glancing at the rusted warning sign near the riverbank. The letters were barely legible, faded by time. "It says restricted area." Jack smirked. "Exactly. That's why no one's been up there. If we reach the top, we'll be the first." Ethan adjusted his backpack. "It's just a formality. No one patrols here. We'll keep it to ourselves." They nodded in agreement, feeling a rush of excitement at their secret adventure. It wasn't every day they got to explore forbidden territory. They crossed the river, feeling the chill of the water against their boots. As they stepped onto the other side, an unsettling silence replaced the cheerful chirping of birds they had heard just moments ago. The only sound was the distant hum of crickets. "This place is oddly quiet," Lisa murmured, glancing around. "Must be because it's untouched," Jack reasoned. "No one's ever explored this place properly." The forest stretched before them, untouched and magnificent. The trees stood tall, their canopies casting long shadows over the moss-covered ground. It was breathtaking, like stepping into a forgotten world. There were stories, legends passed down by the indigenous people, warning that the land was cursed. Centuries ago, they had abandoned it, leaving it untouched. Now it was part of a national reserve, unexplored and mysterious. Undeterred, they pressed on, eager to reach the summit. The climb was steep, but the promise of an unforgettable view kept them going. Then disaster struck. Ethan, who was leading, lost his footing on loose gravel. He tumbled down a 20-foot drop, rolling painfully before crashing into a bed of sharp rocks. When the others scrambled down to him, their hearts sank. His leg was bent unnaturally, deep gashes lining his arms and face. "Ethan, can you move?" Lisa asked, panic lacing her voice. He groaned in agony. "No, my leg. I can't." Jack quickly assessed the injury. "We need to get him out of here. Fast." They tried the radio. Static. No signal. They hadn't had proper reception since they crossed the river. "We need to make a stretcher," Sam said, already gathering sturdy branches. They cut small trees, peeling off the bark to bind them together. Within minutes, they had a makeshift stretcher. Carefully, they lifted Ethan onto it. He clenched his teeth, trying to suppress his cries of pain. "Hang in there, man. Once we're across the river, we'll get help," Jack assured him. They retraced their steps, moving as fast as they could while carrying Ethan. As they approached the river, relief washed over them. Just a few more steps, and they'd be back to safety. But as they crossed the river, something was wrong. Instead of returning to the trailhead, they found themselves back in the same spot where they had started, the entrance to the silent forest. Lisa's breath hitched. "No, this isn't right." Jack spun around. "We just crossed the river. We should be out." Ethan groaned in pain, unaware of the horror sinking into the others. Sam turned back toward the river. It was still there, flowing gently as if nothing had changed. But they knew. They had crossed it. They had left, and yet they were back. Lisa took a shaky step forward, her voice barely a whisper. "We're trapped." Jack checked the map. It was useless. The forest stretched endlessly in every direction. The loop had begun. They tried crossing again, and again. Each time, they found themselves back where they started. The pain in Ethan's groans never changed. His injuries never worsened or improved. Time had stopped for them. Lisa stared at the river, realization dawning on her. It's not just the forest. Jack turned to her. What? We're trapped in time. A heavy silence fell over them. There was no way out, no help coming, no hope. And the loop would never end. Lisa turned her gaze back to the rusted sign they had ignored earlier, now standing out like a cruel reminder. Jack whispered, his voice filled with regret. We should have listened to the warning. And that's the end of the story. Hope you learned something new. Thanks for watching.